Hey there, I'm Kid Wilder, and this one might be a little bit longer than some of the other Stardew episodes. We're gonna actually start to try and get through the rest of this year pretty quickly. Sunny day tomorrow. I want to try to get as much stuff, make our life difficult. Try to get as much stuff done as we can. But I also am wanting to switch time slots. I want to add a different game into it. So you've entered the Skull Cavern. Well done. I've got a better challenge for you, kid. Make it at least 25 levels deep. Got a mountain of money to send if you can do it. Your friend, Mr. Key. Kid Wilder, I'd like to buy a pumpkin from you. My daughter and I want to carve a jack-o'-lantern for the upcoming Spirits Eve Festival. Caroline. I may have one more jack-o'-lantern still. I honestly forgot that she wants one. Don't really need dishes to see anymore. Guess I got the one from the Grange display. I could go ahead and take that and give it to her. If I really wanted to. But I am looking at potentially ending the Stardew for a little bit. We may come back to it later. There's another game I'm wanting to bring into the channel for a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attempt to finish fall. We'll finish fall this year. Not this year. We'll finish fall this episode. And then we'll come back at another time. Well, and then we'll have, I guess, 2 episodes potentially for the winter season. It'll kind of depend on how long it takes. Hopefully not too long. So for the end of fall, we've got a few different things that we need to get done. We need to go talk to Marnie because I want to get a pig. We only have a few days to get one in here before the end of fall, at which point we can't get anything from the pigs. At least not till spring. I want to show you just why you want to do truffle oil. Alright, let's head over to the traveling merchant. I want to see if they have anything that we desperately need. I think for the most part we're just waiting on the winter forageables. We need that nautilus shell or a rabbit's foot. Is that rabbit's foot? That's going to be a premium item. I'll need at least 2. Purchase animals. Yeah, how expensive pigs are. Okay, we got our first pig. And we'll put a sheep in here too. We need to make 2 looms. Hi, Kid Wilder. It's odd. I'm not sure what caused this boulder to disappear. The stream is flowing from deep within the mountain. Hey, do you see that glistening in the water? Yes, that's quality ore. The flow of water must be carrying it out of the mountain. You know what this means, right? It means we can start panning for ore. Here, I've got an extra pan in my backpack. Why don't you take it? If you ever lose your pan, you can actually buy another one. If you ever see ore glistening in the water, use that pan and see what you find. you received a copper pan. And now anytime we actually go anywhere that is near water, there's a chance that we'll see that kind of shimmer on there. And all we have to do is... That was too far. But from that point on, all we have to do is select the pan near it, activate it near the glitter, and our character will auto pan, and you'll get some items. Sometimes it's just regular ore, sometimes it's actually more advanced ore. If you upgrade your pan, you can actually get a chance of getting iridium ore. You can increase the... We finally used our last bait. The bait lasted us a long time. We haven't even gone to see the new animals either. Okay. So I just did it right next to the shimmer, and I got iron ore from it. You'll get different things. I believe you can still get gems from it. But it's always just been kind of a mixture. It's nice to make sure you have your pan on you. It is not necessary. You don't have to have it on you. But it does allow for you to potentially get extra ore without having to go in the mines. And for some people, that's a big deal. I've seen a lot of people that just hate going in the mines. They loathe it with a passion. A good amount of money. That pickled broccoli sold for quite a bit. So the thing is, what you should be doing whenever you're playing this is your fruit needs to go into kegs. Yes, it takes quite a while for kegs, but it increases the value of the fruit drastically. You want to favor two particular types of fruit: ancient fruit and star fruit. Star fruit's actually the most valuable, but it is also way more tedious to deal with it, whereas ancient fruit reproduces the fruit every time. It's like the grapes and stuff. It will constantly produce fruit. I think it's like every 5 days. I don't remember for sure. But star fruit, I think it takes about 13 days for it to mature, and then you harvest it and you get one fruit. So you usually have to make more seeds or buy more seeds. But you'll put your fruit in the kegs, and you'll sell the wine from that. And then you take all your vegetables and you put those in the preserve bins, and it increases the value of the vegetables. So like we had the broccoli here that's 77 gold. Well, I just sold pickled broccoli for 266 gold. It drastically increased the value for the broccoli. But we also have to wait a few days for it to produce that value. Because it takes, I believe it's almost exactly 2 days from the point that you actually put it in. It has an actual timer rather than it being every so many days. It has a timer for it. So if you're off by a little bit, it's going to calculate it based off of how far off you are. They also have dehydrators on here, and you can put fruits or mushrooms in the dehydrator. It does it faster, like it produces whatever you put in there in a day. Well, for more bang for your buck, you want to put mushrooms in dehydrators, vegetables in preserve bins, and fruit in kegs. A lot of the value comes down to certain things. And of course, you always want to be smoking the salmons because it's going to be an artisan good. Same with the jams, like the pickled vegetables, the wine, and I believe even the dehydrated stuff counts as an artisan good. So you're going to be making a lot of money just off of that stuff. And if you get mushroom stumps and put those near your tree farm, you'll have a lot of extra stuff. So cloudy tomorrow. Days in our hands. Oh. Good morning, dear. Hi, Evelyn. It was a lovely walk out here. I haven't seen this old farm in a long time. It looks even better than I remember. Here, I brought you a little something. A gift from one gardener to another. Oh, yeah. She just gave us a garden pot. These pots are really handy. You can use them to grow crops of any season indoors. They also look nice outside. But out here, they can only house in-season crops. You need more. They're really easy to make too. Here, I've got an old magazine clipping with instructions. Learn how to craft a garden pot. Well, I better go. George gets grumpy if he doesn't have his oatmeal on time. Have a great day, honey. That garden pot, we can actually put it inside of our house, and it'll allow for us to plant whatever crop we want in it. So if we want to, we could start growing flowers inside or fruit, various things, and not have to worry about it being in or out of season. And all you have to do is use a retaining soil. And a retaining soil is fertilizer that allows for you to have a chance for that soil to retain the water that you put on it. Because you cannot use sprinklers for the garden pots. I think the assumption is that the sprinkler just can't reach up there. But it definitely opens up a lot of possibilities. A lot of people like to take those and put them in sheds. Because if you have it in a shed, you basically have another greenhouse for free. Well, relatively for free. Because you had to pay for it and get resources and stuff. But it's a easy way to get a greenhouse. It's like with some of this stuff here, we could just throw that in the preserving bin. Put that in the keg. And now they'll start gradually getting better, and we'll be able to sell them for a pretty good profit compared to its base profit. And the better something is, the longer it takes. So the more value you have from that item, the longer it'll take for it to actually produce what your end goal is. Oh, the ducks are swimming. So the ducks, if you let them swim, you don't have to feed them. They actually will eat from the pond or whatever water source that they swim in. I always thought it was a neat feature that they would swim, and then I found out about that. And it just made it 10 times better. Okay. So, you'll see that Linus, we've talked to him. We have not given him a gift. We gave him the tea. It does not show as a gift, meaning you can keep giving him things, and it allows for you to max him out faster. It's a fun little detail that was recently shown to me. Hey, Sebastian, why are you all up on me? At one point, the villagers actually used to trap you. If they would walk up on you like this, you could not get out of them. You're stuck there. A lot of times you had to redo the day. It was so frustrating. And like the flower festival, there's a spot where Pam could trap you and you'd be stuck. You wouldn't be able to go anywhere. But now they've got where you can actually run into the other people, and eventually they'll start to vibrate in place and you can just phase through them. But it used to be a really big problem. Thankfully it got fixed. Okay, so we have that battery, and I meant to do it earlier, but I kind of forgot. So what you do with it is you go up here to the bus station and you go all the way over to the tunnel. There is a note, and I think even a lost book, but I just didn't want to mess with it. So you'll go in here, you go all the way down to this box right here. You take this battery, you put it in the box. It worked. The lockbox swings open. Inside, there's a note. Your first task, bring a rainbow shell to the train platform. Leave it in the box, Mr. Key. So that triggers a series of missions, little quests that you gotta do. You have to take resources from what you can get access to normally. Like the rainbow shell, we could normally get that from everyday scavenging. I should have kept the one that we had. I completely forgot about it. That's going to be a very common trend, is me forgetting about stuff. Because there's a lot to this game. There's so much that you can easily forget about. Well, you take the rainbow shell and deliver it to the train station. Well, at that point, you get another message that tells you need to take some other things to another spot. And you'll kind of do that throughout several spots. But in the end, you get a reward. And it gives you access to a space that you normally cannot access. It's blocked off to you until you complete this. You don't have to do it early on. It is something you eventually will need to do. Okay, windy and gusty tomorrow. Days in our hands, so they're neutral. Glazed yams. And now I know how to make glazed yams. Oh, okay. Hi, Kid Wilder. Good morning. You seem to be doing well. The farm looks great. So, you've been here a while, and I'm sure you've acquired some cloth by now, right? Well, did you know that you can use cloth to tailor all kinds of clothes? All you need is access to a sewing machine. And I happen to have one at home. Feel free to swing by and use it anytime. We can now access Emily's sewing machine. If you become better friends with Emily, she gives you an actual sewing machine. Start tailoring, you'll need a piece of cloth and a secondary item. Experiment and see what unique styles are out there. My wife has actually done that. She experimented with all kinds of clothing, and because the dresser actually has no limit, she has managed to fill her dresser up with clothes and it's still not full. I know that's misleading. She has put so much clothes in that dresser and it somehow still has not reached full capacity. You know, I just realized I put a fruit in the preserving bin instead of a vegetable. Yeah, early on, you kind of want to sell all your stuff, or at least all the stuff you can. But late game, you don't really want to sell anything unless it is fully processed. You want to make sure it is an artisan good, otherwise you are wasting money. And in this game, you don't want to waste money. One of the biggest things on here, it costs 10 million. So you kind of want to get the hang of actually farming efficiently and making money, because you're going to need a minimum of 10 million. That's not even including all the rest of the stuff. You have to upgrade your house. You have to purchase the obelisks, which actually allow for you to teleport around between your house and other locations without using any additional resources, so we won't have to use those totems anymore. The downside to the obelisk is it takes quite a bit of planning, because you need a lot of money, and you also need certain resources that we don't have right now. But if you know what you need, you can actually anticipate it and start saving up for it. if you can, like, manage to actually get an entire barn full of pigs, as soon as you get up, you want to put those pigs outside. So you want to make sure that you're able to open the barn door as early as possible. The reason why is because the more time that the pigs have outside, the higher the chance of them getting truffle. And truffles are pretty much everything, because you only have so much time. The pigs will not go outside when it's raining. The animals don't go outside during snow. So during winter, they all stay in the barn, which means you have to have as much time for them to go out and get truffles as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be missing out on extra profit. And normally I would fence in the pig. I don't like them wandering around, because the pigs have a tendency to leave the truffles wherever, because they actually just dig them up at that spot and then they'll leave it. Now it's already started giving us powder melons. So the powder melon seeds are the only crop that you can actually grow in winter. Nothing else actually grows in winter outside of your garden pot and the greenhouse. If you want to be able to have stuff that grows year round but don't want to keep it in a small confined space, one of the other best things to do requires you to finish the community center and unlock another location after Willie comes and talks to you, because he has a business opportunity for you. Let you invest in his venture. Yeah, we're going to slowly start to lean heavier and heavier on the cheese and mayonnaise, because even our honey will stop producing. The bees don't work during winter. Sunny all day tomorrow. Days in our hands. Hi, Kid Walder. Thanks again for the wonderful gemstones. These will be perfect for my energy realignment work. I wanted to thank you with a special gift. I hope you create some wonderful items with it. Okay, I misspoke. I guess it wasn't the heart event. It was just a completing one of those things for her. So now at any point, if I wanted to, I could start making my own clothes. It's going to be the last harvest for quite a few of these, as this is the last week. Some of these plants need to hurry up and finish growing. Ooh, we got our first artifact trove. So basically the artifact troves, what they do is they are guaranteed to be an artifact. And normally you can only get them under certain circumstances. So like I just found that one from panning there. But you can buy some from the desert merchant as well. And it is one of the best ways to potentially find an artifact you might be missing. We're going to go down here, talk to Marnie, get the shears going. I'll go buy the shears. We'll go back up to the farm. I'm going to try to grab the stuff we need for these stables, I think. I guess we need to go see Clint too. We gotta have Clint crack open this treasure trove so you guys can see what's in it. Buy some shears. I think it's time we go ahead and get the auto grabbers. Now that I bought the shears. I don't know why I did that. I just realized what I did. So the auto grabber also grabs the wool off the sheep. So that's why that's such a dumb move. Because I basically purchased shears for something I'm about to make obsolete. Okay. We can either upgrade the house for 450 wood, or we can go ahead and get a stable. I think it's been long enough. We'll go ahead and get a stable. I am sad because I did not move any of my stuff, so I can't put my stable in the spot that I'd really like to put it. Because if you put it right here by the house, the slope from the stable actually merges seamlessly with the slope of the house, and it just looks so aesthetically pleasing. I guess we will put the stable right here, and we'll move it later. Okay, on our way to Clint. We just need to remember, we only need wood for the house upgrade. It's hardwood that we need it for later on in the house upgrade. I do need to go back in the mine and see if we can find the rest of those dwarf scrolls. That way we can talk to the dwarf. Because that dwarf is going to become a huge asset where we actually start going into the skull cavern. You want that dwarf on your side. Basically, the dwarf allows for you to purchase bombs from them. And you'll use those bombs a lot. If you do anything in the skull cavern, if you do anything in... Later on, there's a volcano that you get to go to. You do anything in any of those locations, you need the bombs to clear the place out faster. Otherwise, you run the risk of running out of energy or time, a mixture of both. You might even get overwhelmed by enemies quickly. So it's definitely worth it for you to actually get the reliable source of bombs. Yeah, because we turned in a lot of cranberries, so we got a decent amount of money from those, plus the mayonnaise and the cheese. We kind of let a lot of the other stuff fall to the wayside. I need to start doing more fishing. Bookseller's in town today. Sunny day tomorrow. We'll get a little extra luck. Winter's coming soon, and that means your farming operations will be coming to a halt. No crops growing in winter, unless you're lucky enough to have a greenhouse. There's still plenty to do. More next time. Okay, so we got Robin working. Go ahead and start harvesting everything. Hey, there's our sweet gemberry. So many flowers. So we bought an auto collector. Now all we have to do is when we come in, we immediately go over to the auto collector, and it's already got all the stuff for us. We no longer have to run around collecting everything. It does have a slight drawback because when we were milking the cows, it was giving us a little bit of a buff to their happiness every time we would milk them. Big's still a baby. Come on. I accidentally destroyed that. You gotta be careful of that. It is so easy to destroy your crops. You want to make sure that you have the proper tool in hand. Yeah, you can start the day over. It's not worth it for me right now. It was just a broccoli. I might be able to get one more harvest out of it. It is sad that I accidentally destroyed it. It is always frustrating whenever I mess up like that. But it is what it is. Like you eventually learn from it. You learn not to do stuff like that anymore. Eventually. I just slipped up. Because normally I keep it on the watering can. It's either on the watering can or on the scythe. I don't ever keep it on my axe or pickaxe. that was just a bad time. So you'll take this sweet gemberry and you'll go all the way down to the secret forest. All the way over here. You have all of these slimes that you get to deal with. Hopefully by this point you know how to deal with slimes. Oh, we got a winter root. So this is Old Master Cannoli. It's a statue of Old Master Cannoli, and they want something that is the sweetest taste. So you'll give them the sweet gemberry. And in return, you get a star drop. You found a star drop. Your mind is filled with thoughts of all of you. Maximum energy level has increased. And in case you didn't know, you can actually use, if you're playing on controller, you can use the right joystick to select a spot that's just slightly out of your reach, and it'll let you activate it. I know there's quite a few people that didn't know that. So we made a really good profit today, and it's all because of the fairy roses. We had a lot of them. We have even more that are about to come in. Alright, tomorrow's Spirit's Eve, so it's the 27th, not the 28th. Take place between 10 p.m. and 11:50 p.m. Very small window. So you want to make sure that you're able to make it. So life's going to be difficult today. Hey, we got our horse. Your kid Waller knows chill in the air. It could just be the approach of winter, or it could be the tingle of a dark specter, here to help us celebrate tomorrow's festival, the Spirit's Eve. Come to town at 10 p.m. if you'd like to participate. Mayor Lewis. Alright, so we've got our last harvest on a bunch of this stuff. I should probably stop watering it because there's no sense in it. I am going to probably water it all anyway because I can't help myself. Alright. I have a running thing where I always leave my horse's name on there as the base one, and it's Grover. I don't know why I do it. I just think it's funny. But as you can tell, we're moving around quite a bit faster with the horse. And you can actually make the horse go even faster if you have carrots. You can feed it, and for the day, its speed will increase by, I think it's 0.25. And then if you have anything that increases your movement speed, it also increases the horse's movement speed. Honestly, there's a lot of theories as to why he comes up here and just stares at this. Oh, and you can actually fish right here. And there's a secret thing. Some people pass it by, they never even look. It just takes a while right now because I don't have all the stuff I need to shorten the time. Yeah, we got a painting. You can get that from that little water feature. Okay, so the Spirit's Eve Festival started. And this is one of two versions. It actually rotates between this one and the other one. It'll alternate every year. And Aunt Marnie, I want to go in the maze. I'm not scared. Hi, Kid Walder. Have you had a productive... Hi, Kid Walder. Have you had a productive fall? Eek, I'm too scared. So you can get the witch rarecrow during this festival. You can also get the jack-o'-lantern recipe. get too close to the cage. Where's I was thinking we could get over there from there. I have no idea how these skeletons are walking. Creepy. Why is there no more pumpkin ale? You like the jack-o'-lanterns? I carved them myself. Mother won't let me go on the maze. Good evening, Kid Walder. Have you ventured into the haunted maze yet? It's quite spooky. I'll come to any event with free grub. You won't see me in the haunted maze, though. Why, hello, Kid Walder. It's chilly, isn't it? It's a lot of fun to cook with pumpkins. Such an interesting fruit. I haven't seen Morrow in hours. I hope she's alright. Well, winter's almost here. It's a great time to stockpile wood and stone. One of my iridium-infused maces would make quick work of these things. Vincent's upset I won't let him go into the haunted maze, but he's just a little boy. I get scared very easily. I'll leave the haunted maze to the younger people. Hi, sorry. Mouthful of blackberries. Pretty cool, though. Thinking about how unnerving it is with the skeletons. So this maze is actually pretty simple. Oh, you found me. Truth is, I got too scared, so I came here to hide. Don't tell anyone. I think I've already been this way. No, wait. Yeah, if you have your camera zoomed out, you can kind of see a lot more of the maze. And then it also doesn't help that I've done this one so many times. The vapor from this cauldron, it's making my head spin, but I can't seem to leave. They also like to incorporate little snippets of things. Something weird over there. How do I get to it? Not snippets. They incorporate little bits of like hidden stuff. Can't go on spiders. Yeah, Abigail is not afraid of anything except for spiders. Even though they're fake. That's odd. It's just a dead end up ahead. Yeah, that's very, very odd. So like this is supposed to be a hidden detail, like nobody knows it's here. You go all the way up here. You can see the wizard and Linus up on top of there. You get the reward. The golden pumpkin. Then you take the minecart to exit back. And that's pretty much all of this festival. I guess Pierre is off limits on this one. I believe it might be the next one that you can talk to Pierre at. There's not a whole lot to it. The one next season also, or not season, one next year also has a maze in it, and they changed the maze up for that one. This gold pumpkin is a unique item that you can either sell, like that's really its only real purpose is you can sell it. Some people just keep them because they like to collect them. You can stitch using the sewing machine. You can do a golden pumpkin with cloth, and you can make a witch's hat, I think. My wife is always more into that, so like I could not tell you exactly on the clothes. But she, like I said, has sewn so many clothing items on here. And she's still not done. She wants to do all of them. Oh. Okay. That one finally happened. We got a decent amount of money. It wasn't a whole lot of money, but it was a decent amount. But that sound that we heard, it was a event that actually was not really a random event. It happens at some point after you unlock the greenhouse. They're sunny all day tomorrow. Neutral. And then what has the Queen of Sauce got for us? Artichoke dip. We now know how to make artichoke dip. Hey there, I had some extra wood lying around. I thought maybe you could use it. Take care. Probably the wood that I gave you 2 days ago. Yeah, we're not going to water any of this. All of this is going to die at the end of the season. The rest of our fairy roses didn't come in. Oh, apparently I didn't water that one at some point. Looks like several other plants didn't actually come in fully. But there's nothing we can do about it. It's the end of the season. All of that is done. So this is the event that happened last night. This tree fell over. The old tree is gone. However, with 100 pieces of hardwood, this could be fixed up. So now it wants me to bring 100 pieces of hardwood there to fix it. And then a creature's going to move in. Have anything that's of real use to us. Yeah, this is pretty much us winding down for the season. There's not a whole lot else we can do right now. You actually want to make sure that before you get into winter, all of your barns and coops have a heater. You don't have to worry about fire or anything from the heater. But basically what it does, it makes it so your animals don't get as upset with you about the living conditions. If they don't have the heater, they will get all grumpy due to the fact that it is too cold for them. And then you may not have good quality stuff. They shouldn't die on you. I have yet to see anything that would suggest that they actually will. Because as far as I'm aware, there's only one situation in which the animals will actually die on you. And that's only if you lock them out. You don't want to lock them out of the barn or coop. Those pickled pumpkins are really nice. That's why you want to make sure you pickle all your vegetables. And now we have an upgraded house that includes a kitchen and a refrigerator. The refrigerator is nice. You can put whatever food items you want in there. And what it does is every time you go to cook at the stove, then that food item will automatically get pulled from the refrigerator or your inventory. And then the sink actually works. You can fill your watering can at it. But we're going to actually call it there. I think the next... So I think what I'm wanting to do is we're going to cut down on the videos because it was supposed to be 4 more videos after this one, since we were going to do 1 every year. I think I'm going to try to cut those down to maybe 2. And then hopefully by the end of February, we can start on having Halcyon Days replace Stardew for a bit. And we'll see how that does, and then that'll determine if we need to go back to Stardew or if we want to stick with Halcyon Days. I may bring Stardew back for a few little things here and there, maybe do some shorts for it, but we're going to call it here, and I will see you in the next episode.